Massimiliano Mazzanti, Ambassador of Italy to Uganda, in a full exercise of my powers representing the President of the Republic of Italy to Uganda. I came in contact actually as Italy, as the Republic of Italy. We are very much keen on everything that is about education. Mickey and the Beanstalk. As I was saying, it's an original actually, it's a first edition from 1948. I remember my mother used to read me another one from following editions from the 60s actually, but I have fond memories of her, and she passed away 6 months ago, so I think that actually when Education Plus and you still proposed me to commit myself in this exercise, I could somehow bring everything together. Mickey and the Beanstalk. There were once 3 friends, Mickey, Goofy, and Donald by name. They were farmers, like many Ugandans by the way, and they all lived together on a pretty little farm in the most beautiful valley you can imagine. Rolling hills stretched around the valley, and the broad river flowed peacefully through it. Everywhere there were green trees, bright flowers, and singing birds. Does it look like Africa? And the sound of happy laughter was always in the air. It is no wonder that this lovely spot was known far and wide as Happy Valley. The secret of the valley happiness was a magic singing harp, which lived in a castle in the middle of the valley. From the windows of the castle, songs rang out through the countryside, and they cast a magic spell which filled the air with laughter and every heart with happiness. "Oh boy," said Goofy to Mickey and Donald one day, "Happy Valley sure is the right name for this place. We're just plain happy, that's what we are." And the 3 friends laughed and laughed because they were just too happy to do anything else. But one day something terrible happened. The magic harp was stolen. With the loss of the singing harp, happiness went out of the valley too. The crops withered away. The trees died. The river dried up and disappeared. And people grew sadder and thinner and hungrier day by day. Mickey and Donald and Goofy were very sad indeed, and they were very, very hungry. They were down to their last crust of bread and one last meal. To be sure, they still owned a cow, but she was a faithful friend. They could never eat her. What could they do to keep from starving? "Sell the cow," suggested Mickey. "It is the only way," the others agreed. So off to market trudged Mickey with the faithful cow. At home, while they waited, Donald and Goofy prepared for a big feast. They got out the biggest roasting pans and platters, the spices and seasonings and recipe books. "Imagine," cried Donald, "we're going to eat again. After days and weeks of bread and beans, we'll have food, real food." Then back came Mickey from the market. And what do you suppose he brought in exchange for the cow? Not steaks, not chops, not even a soup bowl, but beans. "Beans?" cried Donald. "Beans," groaned Goofy. Mickey tried to explain. "These are magic beans," he said. "If you plant them by the light of the full moon, you get more beans," Donald broke in, and he hurled the beans to the floor, where they rolled through a knot hole and disappeared. There was a black moment for the 3 friends. They were off to bed, supperless and sad. But just as everything looked darkest, what do you think happened? While Mickey and Donald and Goofy were first asleep, in through the window came a ray of light. The right of a full moon, and a silvery moonbeam shone down through the knothole where the magic beads had fallen. So what happens? It was just as Mickey had said. Under the spell of the moonlight, those magic beans sprouted and grew. First, up through the knothole curled a slender sprout, but it did not stop there. It grew and grew into a beanstalk, and this was not an ordinary beanstalk, not at all. It was a magic beanstalk that kept on growing and growing until it lifted the little house up from the desolate valley into a magic land. Morning came at last, and the three friends awoke. Another dreary day, said Mickey sadly, as he rubbed his eyes and looked out the window. My goodness, he cried, and he rubbed his eyes again. Where are we? The valley's gone, cried Goofy, looking over Mickey's shoulder. We're up in the sky, and there's a castle, cried Donald, pointing off into the distance where a huge castle gleamed in the morning sunlight. Maybe there's food there. Food? Goofy echoed angrily. Let's go and see, Mickey suggested. So off trudged the three friends. It was a long, strange walk through a giant land where grasses and flowers towered above their heads. Once they passed giant footprints too, said Mickey. Looks like a giant lives here. A giant, said Goofy. If he's a giant, we'll have lots of food, said Donald. Come on. Napkin, there was Mickey trapped. Mickey thought fast. It is really true, he asked, that you can change yourself into anything. Sure, Willie giggled. Go on, give me something. Well, said Mickey, eyeing a huge face water. How about a fly? Willie was disappointed. Willie was the giant, actually was meeting them at the entrance of the castle. You don't want a fly, he said. I can transform into whatever you want. How about a bunny with the long pink ears? Of course, if you can do a fly, Mickey suggested. All right, Willie sulked. A teeny-weeny fly with pink wings. Then, while Willie muttered his magic words, out from hiding came Goofy and Donald, and with Mickey they gripped the handle of the big fly spotter, ready for one big sport.